Okay, we're leaving Trinidad, Colorado today to go to 5 acres up in Spanish Highlands. Highlands Ranch with some great views, power not too far, right along the western boundary. Has a little creek bed in the bottom of it. And a nice site with a driveway and a nice site on top with awesome views. And it's going to be about 25 minutes from town, less than that. And anyway, I'll be showing you shots as on the way up. I'll be flying my drone over it, taking video drive to the property and flying my drone over the land as well. And I'll show you more of the drive as we go along. Okay, we're crossing the Purgatory River. We're below the dam in Trinidad, and Trinidad Lake's back up that direction. We'll be passing by it on our way up on Highway 12. So when you come to the little roundabout here, exiting into town, just go around it, and we're gonna follow our way out of town on Highway 12 and head to the land. There's a welcome center, visitor center for Colorado on the southern end of I-25. Trinidad State Junior College is right up on the hill up there. First or second world's best gunsmithing school. We're just on Highway 12 headed west out of Trinidad. There's the greenhouses. Trinidad greenhouses. We're on Highway 12, just starting to leave Trinidad. We're actually driving through Jansen, Colorado. A little tiny town, suburb of the big 10,000 peopled Trinidad, Colorado. The lake's going to be right up here on our left. You can take a left-hand turn, go across the dam, and end up on the southern end of town where you can hit I-25. And there's a state park, of course, there. We'll be going about 10 miles and then taking a right onto Bon Carbo Canyon. There's many ways you can get to this, but we'll be taking a right at Coatdale in 6 miles and going up Bon Carbo Canyon, and it's paved almost all the way. Okay, we're coming down Coatdale Hill, is what everybody calls it, and you can get to Trinidad Lake from the back end at Coatdale as well. You can see the old coke ovens. They look like Roman over there. I got a sign, and we're getting onto County Road 57.7. Coatdale is an old mining town. There's a museum there. Few people still live in the town. And used to make all the coke for making the best steel in the world for World War I and World War II, and now they're taking coal out again. So that's interesting. We've come about 3.5 miles up Bon Carbo Canyon Road, County Road 57.7. On our way to the property, and you start to pick up the Spanish Peaks. This is the West Spanish Peak, which is the West and the East Spanish Peaks are all wilderness area. You see it. When I zoom in like that, that's about how big it looks. It actually looks bigger in person. I have my wide angle zoom lens on. So that's wilderness area, and then there's a wildlife area of 2,800 acres, which is about 5 miles from this property, about 10-15 minutes that we're going to. There's wildlife areas, national forests over the Sangre de Cristos, wilderness area over the Spanish Peaks, Trinidad Lake State Park, 4 lakes up in the mountains on Highway 12 by Cachara and La Vida, by Cachara and Stonewall, Colorado. That's a neat place to go. And lots of hunting, lots of wildlife. Hunting is about the biggest industry here besides the coal they're hauling out. And the methane gas wells that come out, the gas comes out of the coal bed layers underneath the ground. Here's one of the volunteer fire departments in the area, and they're really good. My brother-in-law's on one of them closer by us. That fire department's gonna be about within 5 miles of most properties or less. Right after the fire department is the old town, coal mining town of Bon Carbo, Colorado. There used to be a post office here. There are mailboxes for people in the hills to come down and pick up their mail. UPS and FedEx deliver directly to your property. And this property may actually be in the Weston zip code, so you could have a mailbox. I forgot to say, back at the post office boxes in Bon Carbo there, you stay left at a Y, otherwise you'll end up on a county graveled road over here to the right. So you stay left at the Y there, and again, this is County Road 57.7, but it turns into 30.1 as we go around this curve. And this road here will take you through, there's roads all through the county, in the mountains to the west of I-25. And I have maps, road maps showing all the roads with their numbers. And you can get to many of the public lands real easy by not even hitting state highway or interstate. Some of the best views are driving around on these county roads, or you could horseback or ride 4-wheelers or whatever you want to do. But some of the best views, shots you get driving around the area. As we come up over this hill, you see the Sangre de Cristo mountain range, and you can look back to the southeast to see Fisher's Peak. You have a lot of good reference points. The Sangre de Cristos are to the west, and the Spanish Peaks are north, and then Fisher's Peak is east or southeast of most positions of any of these tracks up here in the mountains. Love coming over this rise right here. You see the Sangre de Cristos in the background. You actually see mountains all the way into New Mexico, and of course Fisher's Peak over Trinidad. And if you just south on I-25 is Raton, New Mexico, 20 miles from Trinidad. Right when you see the views that I was showing you, I zoomed out, you'll cross the cattle guard and another county road in the area as you're driving. We're off of Burro Canyon, now we're on County Road 30.1. Going west through the county, you'll see County Road 53. So we're going to take a left onto 53.5 Burro Canyon Road. That's where we came from, and the property is going to be on our left. We're going to drive in. We're going to take a left and go up to the top of the property where there's a drive in sight. But first, I'm going to show you the bottom portion of the property, the bottom boundary, and the creek bed area. A lot of times when we have any moisture to speak of, that little creek bed has water in it, so it'd be great for drilling a water well, and you probably only have to drill like 100 feet. I always like to have 100 foot of water column. So to get to 53.5 from Coatdale where we started, it was about 8.2 miles, 8.3 miles to 53.5 where we just took a left onto this. This is a county road which is maintained throughout the year. And the ranch itself or this short road to the property is maintained by the owners. But we have 50-degree average winter temperatures, so when we do get the snow, it melts pretty quick. If you do get snowed in, it'll be only for a day or two. actually. Okay. You see the RV here and the other RV right there. This is where we're going to take a left. But we're going to go up here and then go up the top. I'm going to go along the bottom and show the bottom portion of the property because the eastern boundary's up on top and the western boundary's down here in the valley. And there is another, you could make another spot on this property in this bottom portion, which would be really nice. You're just not going to see the views like you do up on top, which are very huge. So this little creek bed here a lot of time is running with water, and it goes right through the bottom of this property. I stopped. I'm at the southwestern corner boundary. We're looking south. This is Burro Canyon Road and 53.5, and it'll go back down to Highway 12 that way about 7 miles. You can go that way back into town. So this is off property over here. You can see that grassy area, and there's a right-hand turn that goes to a gas well right there. And on the map, you can see that turn right there going to that gas well. And the southwestern corner, we're facing south this direction. And we're going to look into the property this way. And you can see, it'd be real easy to bring a road across the creek bed here and then come up this canyon. There's a nice flat spot up in there. So you could have a second whole site down in here. There's a lot of usable land. I'll hike up in there a little bit. And then the northwestern corner is going to be right up there by the power pole on the curve, just a little past it maybe. I'm going to hike up here a little bit so you can see the lower portion, and then I'll go back up here, take a right, drive around, come up to the side on the top where we can see all the views. And like I say, this anytime we have moisture like this thing is always. I decided to walk along this bottom a little bit first. Show you the riparian area up here. See, this water's flowed through here recently. There's some big dead trees up there, so it will flow. This is typically full, and these are covered. We've only gotten about 75 inches of snow this year. At our elevation 9,000, we should be 120 plus. So you can see the power line. I don't know if you can, but it goes up to the top of the hill, so that means power's not far from the top. So if you have it along the bottom, and there's also a hardline phone in this road, you could pull it in too. We're going to walk through here. This is where you could come off culvert, then come around and have a nice spot right up here off the road where people won't even really see you. So I'm going to walk the way that would bring a road, come off here. A lot of elk and deer in this area too. There's not a lot of neighbors west of I-25. Enough around to help each other out. And you put a place right up here on this site. Keep coming up this or over in here. Deer poop. There's the bottom. Power going right along. And put a place right there. Nice in here. Yeah. Site up here. There's a site right here. You're going to gain some views as you're coming up. Well, hilltop trees over there. This spot over here is really big. Come up here with the road. And you have space over there, up there, and definitely over here. Eastern Drive in sight. See up at the top of the hill here. There's a lot of land down here. You can even move the dirt around and make it as big as you want it. You can see a bluff up there. That ridge is where the site is on the eastern boundary. Okay, we'll go back up to the top right here. Be a nice spot. That little riparian area right there, that's going to hold quite a bit of water, and then it runs out of there down the creek where we walked up. My truck's right down there. That's on the property down there. Put your crossing down here, culvert a little bit higher. You might have a little water back here. So we just came off this nice bench. That's a nice area. Crossing would be there, come up over there, place right up here. Be a short distance for a water well. And you could run that line from that well here, have a gravity feed for drainage during the winter up the hill. Okay, I taped the, put a little flagging tape at the southwestern corner pin. There's a pin right down there below the pink ribbon. There's that bottom site. Actually, it's one level up from where you can see the rock face here, and it's just pretty neat. There's that power pole in the northwestern corner. It's just off the corner. I finally found it. And it's buried in this oak brush. It's dead, so I could see it. Stake and pin. I'm just going to put the ribbon on oak brush peak. And there's this driveway here. And right after that, take a right. And this, where I'll watch my odometer to see the distance off the county road. We're coming up to the top. We've gone 3/10 of a mile, and the property will be on our right after we go by this place. And that's Fisher's Peak over Trinidad. Remember, we drove up Bon Carbo and we came around the hills this way. And when you get up here, you're going to kind of see this four-way where we're going to take a left. Yeah, so you just take a left. I just met the neighbor. She's a really nice older lady, really nice. So when you see this, you see their place, you take a left. They own 27 acres up here, so you're not going to have any more neighbors, really. At least not for a while. This is all rock that you're driving on here. It could use some road base, and it's not that far to the property. But, you know, you're not going to get stuck. That's a key point. Okay, we flagged the corners, so the northeastern corner is going to be right in here, and the southeastern down there a little ways. And this is the driveway beginning. You can see Fisher's Peak over Trinidad that direction. I'm not zoomed in. When I zoom in, that really shows you the nice, about the right size. They're actually a little smaller, the mountains. You can see all the sangres over here. I'll fly my drone over it real quick. And you have more room to spread out up here on this top, just like the bottom portion. We have a nice big pad site. The southern boundary line that runs east from the road down to the bottom where we started, the southwestern corner, is about 35 yards that direction. And then this land runs down to those spots down below. You could, like I said, you could do a water well there and then run up here above ground. You can see to the west, the Sangre de Cristo mountain chain. I'll zoom in so you can see the proper size of them. They're a little bit bigger than that. And then the Spanish Peaks. That rock face cliff edge right there, I believe that's part of the property. You should be able to see that on the aerial. These are the views from the site. Really beautiful. And you could actually make a road all the way down through this, down the bottom if you wanted to. Okay, this one was easy enough to look at. Just trying to see if I can see Taos Mountain. That ridge is blocking it right there. I zoomed out a little bit. Okay, show you the drive entrance and then fly my drone. Oh, and you have Fisher's Peak to the southeast right there. So you obviously have good southern exposure. Perfect elevation for gardening, homesteading. Okay, we're leaving the track and coming off the driveway. If you're seeing this on ranchviews.com, or on YouTube, please go to ranchviews.com. I do this with all my properties. Please contact me if you need help with anything in the area or this property in particular.